Good morning, pilot teachers and pilot students. Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
Right, thank you. You may sit down. Right, we have looked at the different types of measuring instruments, and you have already used a micrometer and also the vernier calipers. Now, which one of those will give you much more perfect, or let's say more accurate reading? All right, the micrometer will give you a much more accurate reading. Now, the numbers, as you see, if you have to measure, right, the vernier caliper will give you a reading which is about 0.1 of a millimeter. Okay? The micrometer will give you about 0.01 of a millimeter. Now, the reading can give you the precision of those measuring instruments. Now, the topic that we will be going through now is on significant figures. Now, how do we define that significant figure? Significant figure are those numbers, or let's say those digits in a number which are known to be certain, plus those numbers which are uncertain. So I will give you a couple of minutes to quickly go through and then take this definition down. You finished? All right, you don't need to copy this one, we just go through it. All right, you are given one of the example, and that is if the length of the computer desk was measured by a ruler that is graduated in millimeters. All right, you find that it has a value of 1,564.3 millimeters. The measurement has how many significant figures? All right, it has 5 significant figures. All right. You find that the 3 is the uncertain digit, since it is an estimation of a value that is, or that comes after that decimal. So that estimation is 3, and we know that it may fall between 2 and 4. So the 3 in this case is also the uncertain value. Now the same measurement, if we have to write that into 3 significant figures, will be 1,560. So that is, now if we have to go on at this, there are some examples given here. I'll quickly go through and then probably I'll explain how you can find the significant figures. All right, for the first one, any non-zero number is a significant figure. All right. All right, any non-zero number is a significant figure. So in this case, you find that this 1, 2, 3, and 4 is a significant figure. Now, you can have a look at the table. In the table, you'll find that, right, for the first one, let's say this one. Okay, it is a non-zero, so it is, all right, if you have to look across the table, you will find that on column, the third column, which has 4 significant figures, you'll find that there is 1, 7, 8, and 6. Right? Since it is a non-zero number or digit, it is a significant figure, and it has 4. Right? I will move on to the next part of this, and I'd like you to quickly go through and then copy that information. Right, quickly finish that. I'll give you a few more minutes and then we'll move on. You finished? Right, we'll move on to the next. All right, you were given example. There are two numbers that you were asked to carry out your operation. The first one is to subtract 2.4711 from 264.68. Right, how many significant figures are in 2.4711? All right, they are about 5 significant figures. Now in the second one you have, which is 264.68, you have also the, right, which has 5 significant figures. So that is why after getting your answer, right, the answer will be 262.2089. Since your answer has 7 significant figures, right, there are 7 significant figures in your answer. But when you write the final answer, you have to bring it to the number that you did your operation, and it has only 5, because the least number of significant figures in each of those numbers given for that operation was 5. And therefore you have 262.21. And that answer has how many significant figures? About 5. Okay, good, it has 5. Now second one, you have 2.345 times 3.56, and your answer was 8.3482. Because one of those numbers that you did your operation has least significant figures. Let's say it is 3.56, which has only 3 significant figures. That is why you got your answer, and the answer should be having only 3 significant figures. All right, we'll come to the activity. I'd like you to copy this one quickly.
In time you finish, and by signaling me number will come.
Okay.
And then when it goes like this, and kind of then pointing again, and pointing and means next slide.
Next slide. All right, as you are going through, may I give you some hints on how you can do those? Right, all non-zero figures are in, okay, they are significant. All non-zero figures are significant. Okay, that is number 1. Number 2 is all zeros between non-zero figures are significant. And thirdly, all right, the zeros to the right of a non-zero is insignificant unless it is indicated, right? All zeros to the right of any, right, you continue with that. I'm just explaining so that you, all zeros to the right of a non-zero are insignificant, okay, unless you were given or that number is indicated. For example, if you have 109, 0, 0, this one is insignificant, meaning that you have only 3 significant figures. Unless it is indicated, indicated, then you can write that down. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, this is for number 2 activity. Write each of these numbers down and then I'll give you some time to quickly. Okay, write it down quickly. All right, we'll move on. If you can just look at a number and then take it down because you will do that later. All right, these are your activity. I want you to go through quickly. And then do that questions. Okay, question number 1 you have. Give the numbers of the significant figures in each of the following. Right, the first one, A is 4.02. Now while you are going through, I'll just give you some hints and then you listen carefully. All right, all non-zero digits are significant, right? All non-zero figures or digits are significant. For example, if a number is given as 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 has how many significant figures? There are 4. All right. Number 2 is all zeros between non-zero figures are significant. For example, if you find a number which has, let's say for example 109, 109 has how many significant figures? Okay, good, 3, because 0 is found between those two. Thirdly, right, all zeros to the right of any non-zero digit is insignificant, okay? Meaning that it is not counted unless there is an indication of that asking you. For example, 20.00 has 4 significant figures. And lastly, all zeros to the right of a decimal in a non-zero digit or figure is significant. Okay, for example, if you have 0.05030, then you have how many significant figures? There are 4 significant figures. Right, 0.05030. Right, you continue with this quickly. I'll give you a few minutes to quickly go to that and then tell me the number. All right. Okay, you have already copied those ones. It is just looking at the numbers and then you tell how many significant figures then. All right, we'll go through the correction of those. I've given you the first part of this, so copy those 2 questions. All right, now we'll just go through the correction. Right, number 1. All right, I will have 4 students to come up quickly and then write your answers. Then you can explain at the same time. Okay, John Nori. First question, number 2 will be John Numa. Third question will be Michelle Chambui. And we will have Marvin. Okay, you come for number 4. Okay, clean this one, clean the board, and then you can go through. Okay, you write that answer quickly, and then explain that, and we'll go on to number 2. All right, can one of you? You just switch it on and then
4.02 has 3 significant figures because there are 3 digits here, and 0 is counted because it's between the two numbers with the value.
All right. Second one. All right. When you come up, write it down nicely. And then just put the number of questions that you are going through.
This number has one significant figure because the zeros before the first non-zero number, they are not counted. There's only one significant figure.
All right. Question number 3 quickly. And number 4 question, you stand by for that quickly. All right. Use the marker. Okay.
$8,600 has two significant figure because the zeros after a non-zero number is insignificant.
Okay, last one. Right. Okay, just put that equals and then how many? Right, you can explain that. Switch it on.
1049 has four significant figures because the zero is in between two significant numbers.
Right. All right. For the first one, you have 3 significant figures. That is correct. Second one is 1 significant figure. Third one will be 2, and the last one will be 4. Right. We'll move on to the next one. Okay. Right. Okay. We'll have the students to come up, and then, okay, Ruli, you'll do the first one. Enara will do the second one, and Mary, you do the third one, and okay, Rachel, Master, you do number 4. Okay, quickly. When he comes up, the second person may stand by for. Okay, just clean those ones. Okay. Read it quickly. Explain that. Okay. Next person ready to come up? Okay, you explain that.
Number 8 is the third significant figure, so I looked at 5 and it was about 5, so I rounded up to 9.
Right, next one. Okay, third person stand by for your correction on the board. Okay, get the marker, write that quickly. This one. You first. Which the last one?
The question states that we have to write the following into 3 significant figures. So what I did was, these are all non-zero digit. So to 3 significant figure, we go 1, 2, 3, and round the fourth number off to the nearest. Thank you.
Next. You stand by for. Okay.
Hundred point 25 to 3 significant figures is 100.0. Zero point 0.0023572. 3 significant figures is 0.00236. These 2 zeros are insignificant, and I rounded 5 up to 6.
Right. Good. Those are the answers to. Right. We'll have a look at those quickly. All right. The first one, you were asked to write those numbers in significant figures. Let's say to 3 significant figures. So you consider this one. This is a, and therefore this is 5. So you have to round to the next nearest, and that will be 429. Okay. This one is correct. So you have 42,900. Those are the 3 significant figures. Right, the second one, 1, 2, 3. So you have this one, which are the 3 significant figures. All right, look at the third one. Right, in this case, if you have to put something like this, this is how many significant figures? About 5. So in this case, you remove the 2 zeros. Okay, this one makes it as 3 significant figures. Okay, if it is 100 point. And for the last one, right, that is correct, because you have this one, and you have to round it to the nearest citizen. Right, quickly to sum up or recap those ones, right, a significant figure is simply a number that is unknown plus a number that is known, or a digit that is certain plus the uncertainty. If you have measure using those, let's say, two different types of measuring instruments, then you will know the precision of those instruments because one have to give you the reading of the other. Right, that brings us to the end of the lesson. Now our keyword for today is on significant figures. Right, class, I want you to stand up. Okay, once again, good morning pilot teachers and pilot students. Good morning class. Good morning, Mr. Thank you. You may sit.